All right, added takeaways. We got a lot more to get to. I'm not going anywhere. I'm Leo right now. I'm Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not going anywhere. And, buddy, neither was Texas's offense yesterday. They won 16-13 at Kentucky, and that's about all I can say about Texas's offense. This went to overtime. This was predictably hideous. We don't give out negative Chalai ratings, but if we did, this would be like a negative 3.5 Chalai game. People paid money to sit through this. Now, I want to take you back to Friday. Let's say we're on the eve of this game being played, and I pull out a stat sheet and I say I've seen the future because the commissioner's office, the future commissioner's office, has that power, and I say, let me give you the 2 quarterback stat lines in this game. One of them is going to be 31 of 39 for 258. One of them is going to be 12 of 27 for 132. Your response / my response is good for Arch. 31 of 39, solid day. Well, it wasn't him. It was Cutter Boley. Arch and Texas's offense moved like molasses in December yesterday. They got outgained 395 to 179. They got out first downed 26-8, and they still won. Their only touchdown drive was 3 plays and 5 yards. Rock fight. But they won because defense travels. So there you go. They were favored by 12.5. They scored 16, and they needed overtime to do it. That's not a playoff team right now. And it's not early in the season. I don't know what to say. That's not a playoff team right now. We move on. Texas Tech has fallen. Arizona State 26, Texas Tech 22. The Big 12's kind of back to life a little bit. Texas Tech was running away with this thing, and Sam Levitt kind of goes off on them a little bit, 319 yards and a touchdown. I never expected Texas Tech's leading rusher to be Will Hammond, but he was. Backup quarterback, by the way. He started for him. Maybe, maybe this is a situation where we get a rematch in Arlington. At the very least, like if you look at the odds in the Big 12 right now, of course, Brigham Young's the one that's undefeated. Like, they're atop the standings. Cincinnati's the only other team in the Big 12, by the way, that's undefeated in league play. Again, Brigham Young and Cincinnati, the only teams that are undefeated in league play. But Texas Tech is still favored at FanDuel to win the league. It's just that it got a little more compacted now. And Arizona State's number 2. So those teams that played yesterday, they're the favorites in the odds market right now to face off again, rematch style. We assume Baron Morton would be back at quarterback come Big 12 Championship Saturday. But good for Kenny Dillingham. They needed that one bad. Good for them. Next up, we stay in the Big 12 for a second. Brigham Young has done it. They have beaten Utah. And I was called a coward, and I was told in no uncertain terms to face Brigham Young. Someone called me a coward and said, look Brigham Young in the eyes on the show tonight. Bradley, camera 2. I am looking Brigham Young in the eyes, not the literal dude. American Prime Evil's a tough watch, by the way. Not literal Brigham Young, but the entire university and the roster and the coaching staff. And I got to say, hat tip. Great job yesterday. This was the moment of legitimacy for this team. Not the program, not Kalani Sitake. They've long since announced their arrival to the college football world. But I don't think through any fault of my own, myself and a lot of people looked at that lineup of games so far and said, yeah, the Utah game will show us if you're for real. Well, they ran it for 200. They're for real. Padlock stat, by the way, they held Utah to 1 of 5 on 4th down, and now they go to Iowa State this week. It's always going to be a dangerous game. Iowa State's coming off a bye. Who knows? I may end up picking Iowa State. So at this point, I don't think Brigham Young wants you picking them anyway. But yeah, they got the job done. They are still undefeated, and on they roll. They have to play Iowa State. They got to play Texas Tech, TCU, Cincinnati. It's a very backloaded schedule. But see, Utah was part of that backloaded schedule, and they already won one of those games. So let's see if they can keep it rolling. Next up, hey, wait just a second. Appreciate you guys watching. Most of you are subscribed. If you're not, please do so. It's free. It helps us keep the show free, and that's how we do college football year-round. All right, back to the video. Texas A&M needed 45 to beat Arkansas. There were over 1,000 total yards in this game. A&M's needed to do that twice this year. The Notre Dame game, they needed it. Dissom, they needed it. Then they won a couple of slugfests in the meantime. So they've won a ton of different ways this year. Look, credit Texas A&M. I'm telling you, Arkansas is a very dangerous team to play right now. I am watching them. Most of America's not watching them. They already fired their head coach. But see, the performance is upgraded. So Bobby Petrino is just empty in the chamber right now. There are conspiracy theories that he kind of bottled all this up to wait until he got the interim tag, and now he's unloading and whatever. That would just add to the lore of Bobby Petrino. But they're a dangerous team right now. They're not good, like their record's bad. But if you're just watching them, you could pretend Arkansas is 6-1, and the performance would make sense. They took Tennessee to the wire. They just took A&M to the wire. Hugh Freeze and Auburn have to go play them Saturday in Fayetteville because they don't call it Fayetteville. They call it Fayetteville around Auburn, Alabama. And the angel of death, Bobby Petrino, has the following options in his future. He's got Auburn this Saturday. He could run Hugh Freeze out of town. Then he's got Mississippi State. They go to LSU. He could end up spelling the end for Brian Kelly. He goes to Texas. He can knock Texas out of the playoff picture. He's got Missouri at the end of the year. He could do the same thing with Missouri. Bobby Petrino could completely obliterate the entire landscape of the SEC. Again, crazy. Next up, I think if you look it on my finger, you kind of know. Normally when I've got a Post-it on my finger, it's not a good thing. Minnesota beat Nebraska Friday night. 24-6. 24-6. We heard Matt Rule's name. Matt Rule's name. That was the chorus throughout all of last week. Matt Rule and the Penn State job. And then the only chorus we get after Minnesota blanks Nebraska is the fact that they are the Sarah McLachlan special. 29 rushes for 36 yards. That's what Nebraska managed on the road against P.J. Fleck and company. Dylan Raiola sacked 9 times. Darius Taylor alone outrushed Nebraska by about 400%. Nebraska held to 3 of 12 on third down. The drive chart is so sad. 3 and out. Field goal, 3 and out. Field goal, this is where it goes downhill. It's halftime. Punt, 3 and out. Punt, turnover on downs. And that's it. A game you got to have on the road. That's pretty much it. As Meemaw would have put it, had she been around to watch this game, they rode the boat right down their throat. Nebraska, inexplicably, unexpectedly, goes from my playoff bracket to this week's Sarah McLachlan special. This game deserves not another second of talk, except to say congratulations to Minnesota. Congratulations. Anytime you deal out the Sarah McLachlan special, you deserve congrats. Oklahoma beat South Carolina 26-7. And the one question on every American's mind is Cocktober canceled? And to that I say probably, but not definitely, because that's the thing about Cocktober. It's like a bear attack. It sneaks up on you when you least suspect it. So watch out this Saturday, Alabama. Oklahoma had a 100-yard rusher, huh? That's great news. Unexpected news, but great news. John Mateer was enough. I was worried about this game for Oklahoma. Okay, so 26-7 to have breathing room, that's a great thing for them. South Carolina, the spring fears have been realized. All the stuff that I was scared of, there was not enough depth in the wide receiver rooms. Sellers was going to have to do it himself. Defensive regression was almost imminent. Yeah, it's all there. Sellers was sacked 6 times yesterday. And that's just not fun noise. Just not a fun vibe around the program right now. That was kind of the one, like if they were going to pull the nose up on the season that was taking a dive, that was the game they kind of had to have, and the season just keeps diving. It just keeps diving.